My name is Lecturer Clergy Bishop Kenya Michael Loltome. That is my name. Lecturer Clergy Bishop Kenya Michael Loltome, speaking in Kenya Republic National Government and Pakasi's constituency. Today morning about the Word of God in relation to religious political philosophy. When we mean lecturer clergy is a teacher in theology. I've taught many colleges, including government and official force equivalent to Kenya Army. Here to Tawala College for 12 years, a paramilitary general service unit as a civilian spiritual affairs instructor. And I said on several occasions, paramilitary general service unit is an official force equivalent to Kenya Army in their capabilities of spiritual and warfare and also physical. So have you ever wondered how faith fit in an increasing corrupt and violent society like Kenya today? As my question today, all right? Have you ever wondered how faith in God fits in an increasing corrupt and violent society like Kenya today? All right? And we are going to see this book called Micah, which was written by Prophet Micah long time ago, about 750 years before Jesus' birth, during actually Ahaz and Ezekiel, kings of Judah, the time. And what was happening that time, a powerful Syrian empire was expanding westwards and demanding surrender and tribute. Okay, when the northern kingdom of Israel rebelled, the Assyrian destroyed its capital city of Samaria and took many Israelites into exile that time. So now the question is, have you ever wondered how faith fit in an increasing corrupt and violent society of that nature of that time, which is about today, which I said 750 years before Jesus' birth, which is about equivalent to 2,772 years from now. Long time, but it's still applicable in Kenya today. So we are going to read the book of Micah chapter 3, chapter 6, verse 8. Alright? And also want to know that God can sometimes refuse to listen to sinners' prayers in the same Micah chapter 3, verse 4, when they are sinful human beings. So what does God require from such kind of human beings which are not right in the sight of God? Particularly corrupt leadership like Kenya today. We are seeing Kenya Republic today, we are facing a lot of problems, and many people are also blamed for no reasons, including even the former president, the retired President, His Excellency Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, and this previous now failure administration of Dr. Ruto government. The current Kenya president is blaming that the administration of Jubilee for nothingness. They have also stopped, they need also to stop blame game of other politicians of that time, like Governor Oparanya, the former Kakamega, governor, because now they have decided, the court has decided to freeze Oparanya asset in a graft prop of about, 1.3 billion shillings grafts. And they don't prove it. How did this fraud came about? And the governor is still on his own business. They have not arrested him. So it means they are just arresting him or frustrating him like the former president for nothingness, maybe. So what does God require from human beings of that nature, of this corrupt administration? God wanted these human beings of a ruthless government, of dictatorial rule of our president, Dr. William Samuel Ruto, to live lives that measure up to his moral and ethical standards. If you read Jeremiah 6 verse 8, this is how it looks and how it is reading. Okay, the Lord cast against Israel that time. So we are told, He showed you, O man, what is good and what does the Lord require of you. What does the Lord require of a corrupt Ruto's government, administration, including himself, our president? What does God have shown them to do in this verse? He has showed you, oh man, what is good, and what does the Lord require of you? Then in that case, God wants them to act justly in justifiable justice, number one, and to love mercy to help needy people, which are vagabond, homeless nowadays. All right, I'm living even in a house which was built by British government 1956. Queen Elizabeth II, the female president of Kenya, which has handed power to Kenyans to destroy the country, these blacks. All right, 1963 up to today, 2023. So God wants these human beings to act justly in a justifiable justice to help us, and to love mercy, compassionate kind of spirits to help us, and to work humbly with God, which they are not doing. They are not following these three principles, which God wants to lead us to have in their personalities. Alright? In Micah chapter 6 verse 8, God has shown them what is good, because they are not animals. They have intellect, they have emotions, they have also will, decision making. They can make good and bad decisions. And they're emotional, they can make people happy or angry. And the intellect, they are not using instinct. They know what is right, but they are not following. So this human being, they are supposed to act in a justifiable justice manner and love mercy to help us in provision of, all welfares, and to work humbly with God, which they are not doing it at all. So that is what actually happening, and that's why God actually is not listening their prayers at all. In Micah chapter 3 verse 4, Micah chapter 3 verse 4 read, and then they will cry out to the Lord, but he will not answer them. At that time they will hide his face from them because of the evil they have done. God will hide his face from these human beings, and also it can also, not listen to their prayers, even though they cry to God, because they are not helping us. So today, daily, so that I can conclude this matter, today, People's Daily of Kenya newspaper, which is dated Monday 20th, 2023, we are saying East Africa, ethics and anti-corruption phrases of Paranya asset in graft to corrupt cases, which they are not actually proving it, that now they have actually preserved all this asset for 6 months. This is causing a lot of, problem to this governor, which I met him the other day. I was with him the other day, together with the Supreme Kenya People's President, His Excellency Raila Amolo Odinga. I was with them recently at a certain hotel here in Karen called, Tamrin Hotel. That's actually Gibira. And also, I was with them also in another hotel. They call it Park View Hotel at Karen. And I talked also with this governor called Oparanya. I greeted also the People's President, Supreme Power President, His Excellency Raila Amolo Odinga. I've been there. And now these human beings are actually frustrating Oparanya. And also they are blaming also Supreme Power President when he is trying to correct them, His Excellency Raila Amolo Odinga. And also Jubilee administration also, they are blaming the former president, the retired President Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta government, that they are the one who have taken money, but it's not so. So actually, what these people are doing, it is written here, they have started now frustrating the former retired president, governors, like now Paranya. They are now, facing a lot of problems. They have now preserved for 6 months his assets. His companies, they are not operational. And also they are blaming the president, the former president, His Excellency Jubilee president that time. The president of Kenya Republic, retired one, His Excellency Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, that is the one who have taken money. Which is not so. They are just failure. Because they did not say that actually before. What President Ruto told us during this campaign time, within 100 days, he will provide us with all social welfares, but nothing is happening. He also went ahead to tell people, even though you put on sufriyas or, there's spots on your head, they will not help you if you are demanding food. There's vagabonds, families, homeless. So, I, Bishop Kenya Michael Loltome, I concur also for Kenya Chief Justice Honorable Pastor of Seventh-day Adventist, retired David Kinani Maraga, our Chief Justice for paving a way for, salaries increment for police, prisoners, officers, and also it need to be harmonized also with the rest which are not actually increased salaries. Like now the counterpart in the military army, their money are not increased. It need to be harmonized, and also intelligence services. So the government need to, not to show partiality to make the soldiers to fight each other. When they have increased now salaries for, police, prison officers, they need also to harmonize with the others, military officers, counterparts, to increase their salaries and also intelligence services, okay, to have equal amount of money. All these security services, they are supposed to be paid money equally, monthly salaries, be it from the, junior staff, the constables, or even, those in cadet forms, officers, and, senior military officers, and also police officers, ranging from the Chief of General Staff, Ogola, okay, Kenya Army, Kenya Defense Forces, and also Chief of, Inspector General Police, Honorable Kome, and Honorable Ogola, Kenya Military Chief of Staff, from their salary increment all down to the constables. All security services salaries must be equalized because they're facing the same challenges. The same challenges in the field of battles. Okay, so their salaries are supposed to be, when you increase one group, increase all of them. All right. They are supposed to increase police officers' salaries better off, and prison officers, intelligence officers, and Kenya military officers equally. And if they are supposed to remove scrap vehicles from even all over. Even this, I'm living in Mbakazi village here, and we have a station here, and they call Mbakazi village. It's just a kind of shed. They are not the scrap vehicles of 1963. Let's say British government in 1920 to today, 2023. All right, the scrap vehicles are there. Even the soldiers are not, they are not living in decent houses. It's just like cow sheds. I'm just giving an example here where I'm living about some few yards from where I'm now speaking, and Bakat village inside my house, which I own it, which was built by British government. I thank them a lot. And we are over 250 families which are living in these houses of, British government, freely. And we are having also water freely, but we don't have toilets. This government of retired president, Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, have destroyed the toilet for us. And this one is not also willing to build a toilet for us. All right, only toilets. Otherwise, the houses are British government are intact. They destroy our toilet here. The county council, the former county council regime have destroyed the toilet, and we refuse them to destroy the houses. Okay, the former regime of 2022. Okay, government of retired Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, and now they have destroyed the toilets. We don't have toilets here. We need actually them to come and this one to help us with only toilets. And if they can't, well, we will do it actually. Anyway, what do I want to say here? Let the salaries of all the, officers to be equalized. And also the state should also provide displaced 80,000 Kenyans because of El Nino all over the country to be provided with money, cushions money, and shelters permanently. And also the president need to be, need actually not to blame the former president of his failure government. He need to do something. And disaster management also ministry for social protection to question elderly and the youth, Kasim Mitahane to resume, and also elderly. In this regime now, which is very bad, and anti-corruption, not to take orders from the High Court to arrest, to keep on, disturbing Oparanya, okay, and other politicians, which are not guilty at all anyway, because they are not proving to us which kind of fraud this man is actually implicated of Kenya shilling 1.3 billion. They are not saying, they are not stating in this paper. It's not there. They are not saying, they are just saying that the man as a case to answer, which is, they are not saying what had happened. And so that's actually my word today. That the president actually need to shift the burden of his failure government to others and to frustrate human beings for nothingness. And also, he need also to reduce the cost of living as per Kenya Supreme Power President utterance. His Excellency Raila Amolo Odinga is right actually to say that people are dying of hunger. Oh, we have witnessed so many people dying here, this kind of stuff. For lack of food stuff, anyway, that is in the case. There is no need for High Court judges to bar former Kakamega governor of Wycliffe of Paranya, his agents or associates for interfering in any way with the Kenya shillings to 28.9 million held in lab trust. Kind of I don't know where it's a bank. So they need not to frustrate this old man, also retired Kakamega polite. And I talked with him, and my conscience is convinced enough that this is a godly man, Paranya. I met him some few days ago, about 1 day ago. So there's no need for the also universities, okay, across the country to demand full fees for the student to continue learning. They need to be given to learn, and then the parent will be given time to look for money all over the country. Otherwise, they need to go home, all of them to strike, all universities to be closed, including privates, because the parents have no money to pay in full all the time. Otherwise, may God bless you, human being living in Kenya and beyond. Remember, I'm a political preacher. You can follow me on Loltome TV, which is Bishop Kenya Michael Loltome, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitters, and I'm also a politician aspiring to be Kenya President 2027 or August 927. Okay, elections. To be the Kenya United States of Kenya Republic President of what 7 county government, 290 councils, and 1,450 wards assemblies. And you will not cry anymore. I will provide you with all necessities. My government is also on Facebook, Twitters, and also YouTube. You will see with all my government leaders, political unit and administrators, leaders, high commissioners and high accredited high commissioners, ambassadors we are going to various countries. And what I'm going to provide people, both spiritually, physically, socially, and physically, and economically, for those who are in need. I've already highlighted it. In my government, you can follow up. And also my Brigadier Kukubo has agreed to be my vice president. He has filed for Kenya Army retired brigadier. A brigadier is the person who is in charge of brigades and battalion of Kenya Republic, but he's a retired. He was nearly to unseat President Kibaki, the third president, 2007 elections, but now he has agreed to be my vice president. And I'm going to have also a first lady, is a Supreme Power President, the Legislative Assembly of ELA, or East Africa Assembly, Legislative Assembly, East Africa Legislative Assembly, Member of Parliament, Honorable Imgat Raila, as my first wife, who is also a leader now, a politician, a young girl, a young lady, but is a very wise and understandable and knowledgeable. He has masters in political science. Now that's on course also. I need prayers because I will marry her soon to be my first wife, dear wife, to help me in politics. So we are going to unseat this president called Dr. William Samoei Ruto earlier than even 2007 if he messes up, or even on August 2027 election. By 9 a.m. that day, God willing, we will garner more over 50 plus 1 votes before noon to unseat this corrupt and stable leadership of Dr. William Samoei Ruto. Alright? Together with God and all those people I've mentioned. My first lady, which will be Honorable Winnie Imgat Raila, and also my vice president, retired Kenya Army, or Kenya Defense Forces Brigadier, a person who is in charge of brigade and battalion in Kenya, band, for many years. His experience and polite and humble and God-fearing man is just like me, also like a priest. And my wife also first lady, which is in future, very soon, is a priestess, is served a lady. Used to go to, Anglican Church of Kenya, where will most of the time be there. Alright? And I'm also teaching theology myself. I've taught the paramilitary general service unit for 12 years as a civilian spiritual affairs instructor, both systematic and Al-Shabaab terrorist theology, because I have both degrees in systematic theology, Christianity terrorist theology, and also Islamic terrorist theology. I've studied it in the Columbia International University and independent learners undercover, and also Vision International University, Ramona, California, USA, here in Kenya, an affiliate campus, and also a graduate of Capsule Bible College, a well-known prestigious African and Church College, Theological College, 4 years. I graduated in 2000. I was also Pastor Moy, pastor, spiritual affairs and advisor. AIC Kabartonjo, which was built by President Moy, and he owned it because he has built it using his own money, 40 million. He has a title deed, measuring 200 feet by 60 feet, a straight building with a media house in the big there. Sister Moy was a church lady. Okay, Honorable Rebecca Chelimo, real sister youngest. And so that is me actually. I was there. May God bless you, human being living in Kenya and beyond. Amen.